Regardez ça.
1. The Rosetta Stone. In 1799,
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
French soldiers
On
were
dirait des
repairing a
écritures
fort in
anciennes.
Egypt when they hit something solid
Sir,
buried in the mud.
look at what I found!
It was a slab
Incredible.
of black granite
3 different
covered in
scripts on
text,
one stone.
but not just
This
one
changes
language.
everything.
3.
Sir, look at
Three.
what I found!
Incredible. 3 different
An
scripts
ancient
on one
Egyptian
stone.
hieroglyphs.
This
For centuries, hieroglyphs have been a complete mystery. Nobody alive could read them. But because the same message was written in Greek, a language scholars already understood. This single stone became the key that unlocked an entire civilization's writing system. It took over 20 years of careful work before French scholar Jean-François Champollion finally cracked the code in 1822. And once he did, thousands of years of Egyptian history, temple walls, royal tombs, ancient scrolls, suddenly became readable for the first time in nearly 2,000 years. One broken rock. An entire lost language, restored. 2. The tomb of Tutankhamun. For years, archaeologist Howard Carter believed there was one more tomb hidden in Egypt's Valley of the Kings. Everyone else had given up. His funding was nearly cut. But in November 1922, his team found a step cut into the rock. Then another. And another, 16 in total, leading to a sealed doorway untouched for over 3,000 years. When Carter finally peered through a small hole with a candle, his patron asked, "Can you see anything?" Carter's famous reply, "Yes, wonderful things." Inside was the nearly intact tomb of a teenage pharaoh, Tutankhamun, filled with over 5,000 objects. Gold masks. Chariots. Jewelry. Furniture. Most royal tombs had been looted centuries earlier. This one, hidden by accident under debris from another tomb, had survived completely sealed. It remains one of the most complete ancient burial sites ever found, and it made King Tut a household name almost overnight. 3. The Terracotta Army. In 1974, farmers in Xi'an, China were digging a well during a drought. Instead of water, they hit clay, fragments of what looked like a broken statue. They had just found the edge of one of the largest archaeological discoveries in human history. Buried beneath the earth was an entire army, over 8,000 life-sized soldiers, hundreds of horses, and dozens of chariots, all made of terracotta clay. They were built to guard the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor, over 2,200 years ago. Here's the part that still stuns historians: no two soldiers' faces are exactly alike. Each one has unique facial features, hairstyles, and armor detail, suggesting they may have been modeled after real soldiers in the emperor's army. The emperor believed this clay army would protect him in the afterlife. Instead, it became one of the greatest windows we have into ancient Chinese civilization. 4. The city of Pompeii. In 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted with such force that it buried the Roman city of Pompeii under nearly 20 feet of volcanic ash, in a matter of hours. It was a tragedy. But it was also, unintentionally, a perfect time capsule. The ash sealed the city so completely that when excavations began centuries later, archaeologists found bread still in ovens, graffiti still on the walls, and even plaster casts of the final moments of residence, formed from the voids their bodies left behind in the hardened ash. Pompeii didn't just show us buildings. It showed us daily Roman life, down to shopping lists and political campaign slogans painted on street corners. It's one of the only places on Earth where an entire ancient city was frozen in a single afternoon. 5. The Antikythera mechanism. In 1901, divers searching a Greek shipwreck near the island of Antikythera pulled up a corroded lump of bronze. For decades, it sat in a museum, barely studied. Then researchers used X-rays and CT scans to look inside, and found over 30 precision-cut bronze gears. This device, built more than 2,000 years ago, could track the movement of the sun and moon, predict eclipses, and even calculate the timing of the ancient Olympic Games. Nothing built with this level of mechanical complexity would appear again for over 1,000 years. Some historians now call it the world's first analog computer. A shipwreck. A lump of corroded metal. And proof that ancient engineers were centuries ahead of what anyone imagined possible. 6. Göbekli Tepe. In the 1990s, in what is now southeastern Turkey, archaeologists uncovered massive carved stone pillars arranged in circles, some over 16 feet tall, decorated with images of foxes, scorpions, and birds. The discovery that shocked historians wasn't the carvings. It was the age. Göbekli Tepe is over 11,000 years old, predating Stonehenge by roughly 6,000 years, and built before humans were even believed to have developed agriculture or permanent settlements. This meant something huge. Organized religion and monumental construction may have come before farming and cities, not after, as historians long assumed. Hunter-gatherers built this. Not settled civilizations. It's forcing archaeologists to rethink the entire timeline of how human society began. 7. The Nazca Lines. In the desert plains of southern Peru, there are giant drawings etched into the earth, a hummingbird, a spider, a monkey with a curled tail, some stretching longer than a football field. They were made over 1,500 years ago by the Nazca people. But here's the strange part, the shapes are so massive, they can only be fully seen from the air. There were no airplanes. No drones. So how, and why? Ancient people created images meant to be viewed from the sky remains one of archaeology's most debated mysteries. Theories range from religious rituals to astronomical calendars, but nobody knows for certain.